slow down. You got to slow down and take it easy. Slow down. You got to slow down and take it easy.
Stogie review video review. It's Monday all over again, and about time to get started with another bargain cigar review to just so we can keep track on on this trend that we've created for kind of penny pinching season that Christmas really is. I'm not sure about everyone else, but my wallet always gets a little tighter around the Christmas season. You gotta buy gifts for everyone else. You got all this stuff going on, and my cigars kind of suffer a little bit, so I always try to smoke bargain cigars this time of year, leading up to Christmas, and then maybe the day before or something. I'll have something extravagant. But so keeping with that kind of trend, I've got another bargain cigar here, which is the Gran Habano No. 5, the Corojo version. Now, a little bit of information on this cigar. These are more of a boutique brand, and they're made in Honduras. They are made up of Costa Rican and Nicaraguan long fillers with Costa Rican binder and Nicaraguan Corojo wrapper. Now, the price breakdown on these, at first, I was a little screwed up because they were more than I expected. They were coming out to over $3 per stick. And the reason for that is if you go to famoussmoke.com or famous-smoke.com and you click on the 5-pack frenzy, these are $5 more a 5-pack than they are if you go right to the 5-pack section. So, or go right to the brand itself, in fact, and select the 5-pack. So if you go that route and you go to the Gran Habano No. 5 Corojo for a 5-pack, it's $9.45 plus $4.99 shipping, brings you to $14.44, which breaks down to $2.89 per stick. If you're looking at box prices, they are $52.99 plus $5.99 shipping because you're over the $40 minimum order. Your shipping goes up $1. That gives you $58.98. Divide that out by 20 per box. Gives you $2.95 per single. So that's about it. Then we got the particulars. We can get to the fun part, and that is actually smoking the cigar. Now, I've had a number of these over the last couple of years, and I've always gotten them from Famous just because they're so inexpensive, and I've always been very happy with them. As a matter of fact, I probably reviewed this cigar last year sometime, but it fit the bargain, the bargain breakdown budget. So we're going to do it again and see how it compares. Now, when I'm just feeling the cigar here, it's rock hard, really, really hard, and we'll have to check the draw on that one, but it's really stiff. There are some relatively large veins. You can definitely feel them when you roll the cigar around in your hands. They definitely stand out and add a little bit of a texture to it. The sheen is nice and oily. The color is fairly consistent. It's like a medium brown. Looks like I got one little nick in the wrapper, but aside from that, it looks nice. The cap looks good as well. Everything's nice and tight. It appears to be a triple, yeah, it looks like a triple cap, so let's get into it. Just wetting the cap a little bit before I cut it. I don't know, the extra moisture seems to help it cut a little better. I predominantly do that with my scissors, but seeing as they're in my other pair of pants, I don't feel like going to get them, so just use the polio this time. I was just so used to, you probably heard all that clicking and assumed I was taking a ton off the cigar, but ever since I started using the scissors, or what I've been doing is just kind of hitting the end a little bit, and usually I don't go all the way through, and there's like a layer of tobacco there that I have to get through yet, and I just took so little off with the polio that I needed to keep going a little and little and little until finally I'm broken through, and we'll see how it draws. And the draw's not bad at all. It's fairly free. It's got a nice kind of sweet spice to it. So far so good. And this is the boring part. Oh, I got my cigar lit. Took a little extra work, most likely due to the fact that my lighter needs butane. I've got it cranked all the way up and the flame's still kind of low, so it leads me to believe that the pressure is low inside the tank, which happens. And that's about it for the start of the video. I'm pairing up my cigar with a bottle of water, and I'm just going to see how it goes. So I'm going to take a quick break. I'll be back very shortly, and we'll get started on the first third of the cigar. So see you in just a second. Well, folks, welcome back. I'm plugging away on my Gran Habano number 5 Corojo, and so far I'm pretty happy with it. Right off the bat, I turned the camera off, took a few puffs, and the cigar started off a little rough. It's really tough to explain. It was just, it's kind of rough, a little dry, and there's like a heavy spiciness that was starting to tickle the back of my throat. After a few puffs, we're talking a few minutes into the cigar, maybe 5 minutes or so, everything started to settle out a little bit. That kind of rough flavor just went away, just faded, and I was getting more of a sweet spice flavor with like an almond aftertaste, which was nice. It was very interesting. It's one of the things that I never really picked up on the cigar before. That was nice, a big plus. I actually went back and looked at the old review to kind of see if I was on par with my previous experience with this cigar, or my documented previous experience with this cigar. And so far, everything seems to be kind of right on the money, with the exception of the almond. I guess I don't know. I guess my palate's evolved a little bit, and I'm beginning to pick up more flavors. And that's great. I love that. I guess I'm talking a little too much. Cigar's going out. And I didn't have that problem before I started talking with the camera on. But the ash has been really firm, compacted. It's dark in color. The burn lines is even. It's even. It's slow, and it puts off a very light resting smoke that's got kind of a medium aroma. It's not too heavy, not too light, just kind of right in the middle. The finish is heavy. It leaves you with a real nice thick coating in your mouth, and it goes away after a few minutes. A little sip of water clears it right up. I happen to like it. It's not one of those things that bother me. I know some people have told me that when they get those really thick tasting cigars that that's just something they can't stand, and it drives them away from a particular cigar. But I happen to enjoy it. The body's still medium. It's creeping up a little bit. I can feel it getting a little fuller, and I'm starting to get a tickle in the back of my throat once again. So this spice seems to be building a little bit, and that about wraps up the first third. Nothing really to say. I'm enjoying the cigar. Let's see, what have I been smoking lately? I've been playing around with some of these other bargain cigars. I've smoked an El Mayor Espresso, which will be coming up shortly. Next week I'm thinking about doing this Honduran bundle cigar that I was just really surprised with. If you're a member of our forums, you'll recognize the name Clint in Canada. He had recommended this Honduran bundle cigar to me, and he offered to send me some. I said sure, and he contacted the person he buys them from, and they were very kind and sent me 4 of them free of charge. So I'm gonna be reviewing them probably next week. And I'll give you some more information on those as it gets closer. There's very little information available. I'm trying to get some from the business owner, mainly the country of origin. I know the country of origin is Honduras, but I don't know about the wrapper, the binder, the filler. The wrapper appears to be Corojo, but I could be wrong. So that's what's coming up. As far as what I've been smoking, Jerry will be happy to hear this. I've been on a little bit of a Rocky Patel kick, believe it or not. I smoked a Rocky Patel Edge Light for the first time a few nights ago, and I really enjoyed it. Much better than the regular Edge. I really don't care for that at all. And I smoked a couple Rocky Patel Connecticut's, and I enjoyed those as well. So I don't know, maybe I got a thing for the lighter Rocky Patel cigars. Don't know. But that's what's going on. That's what I've been smoking. It's what's coming up, and that about does it for the first third. So I'm gonna take a quick break. Be back very shortly, and we started with the second third. Well, welcome back. I'm still plugging away on my Gran Habano number 5 Corojo, and the burn's beginning to get a little finicky. I had to touch it up a little bit. Aside from that, it's burning pretty well. Or it's performing pretty well, I should say, not burning pretty well. The ash is still firm, dark in color, and it's still producing a good volume of smoke with every puff. The flavor is beginning to get a little harsh on me. It's the sweet spice flavor is still there, but it's just kind of tickling the back of my throat, just kind of becoming a minor irritant that I'm not really caring for too much at this point. The spice is building. The sweet spice, that is. It's still nice. It's just kind of irritating the back of my throat that I don't like. There's that kind of mild almond flavor is really faded. It's just about gone, and the smoke is more of like just a natural tobacco flavor with a bit of spice that follows it up. The finish is still nice and thick, leaves a nice coating on my mouth, and aside from that, there's really not a whole lot to say. The body's still medium-ish. It's becoming a little more medium to full, but it hasn't hit that crest just yet. So far the cigar's doing well, but it's beginning to get a little rough, and I expect it to go a little downhill, or I expect it to go downhill from here, especially since I took a look at at this portion of the cigar in my previous review, and I'm running into the same problems I did before. So I'm just going to assume that it's going to be pretty much spot on with the other reviews. So with that said, I'm going to take a quick break. I'll be back. We'll do the final third and wrap up, and let you be on your way. So I'll see you in just a second. Well, welcome back. It's almost quitting time for my Gran Habano number 5. Just as expected, it's still going downhill. And it hasn't taken like a nosedive or anything, but it's steadily getting a little harsher. It's kind of irritating the back of my throat. The flavors aren't bad. It's just it's just that bit of harshness that's really not doing it for me. When you blow the smoke through your sinuses, you're still getting that sweet spice, but it's kind of I don't know. It's fading, and you're getting more of like a natural tobacco taste, than more so than anything else. That mild almond flavor is completely gone, and it's just kind of replaced by this sweet spice and natural tobacco flavor mixture. The finish is it's nowhere near as heavy as it was. I mean, it's still coating my mouth, but it's really thinned out. It doesn't feel like this thick, almost kind of syrupy texture like it was earlier. And the burn problems I was having corrected themselves. It's burning evenly again. Resting smoke is light. It's still producing a good volume of smoke every puff. And just overall, it's performing well. I mean, I'm happy with the performance part of it, with the exception of that touch-up I needed to do about halfway. So there you have it. I mean, oh, the body. It's about medium to full. That's it. Hasn't really crested past that and into the full range. Just medium to full. It's middle of the road smoke. Overall, I thought it was a pretty good cigar. Initially, it was a bit rough, and then it smoothed out, and it was a good smoke. The flavors were interesting, especially the almond part of the flavor profile. I thought that was really nice. It's medium to full. The spiciness is, it doesn't really get to be over the top, but it's definitely there. It's more of a spicy cigar than anything else. And for the price point, it's something I'm not going to hesitate to pick up again. I just have to keep in mind that I'll smoke this kind of later on in the evening, you know, so I can handle that bit of a roughness and it doesn't become too intrusive, you know, like while smoking it earlier in the day. But that about wraps up the Gran Habano number 5 review. And once again, it's $2.89 per single, 5-pack price through Famous. $2.95 per box per single box price through Famous, you know, and that's inclusive of shipping. So there you have it. Budget level cigar, kind of middle of the road, average, I suppose is the best way to put it. And there you have it. Next week I'm going to be doing the Honduran bundle. I still need to get a little bit more information for it. I'll post that. You know, I'll make a comment in this video for that, so you can follow up with me if you like. So until next week, happy smoking.